If the Norse god Odin was actually a historical king who led a migration into Scandinavia, he should have left a biological footprint. So why hasn't ancient genetic testing found him? This is the Woden Files. The standard argument against a historical migration is the lack of data. If an Eastern dynasty arrived with a foreign population, we should see a sudden, massive spike of Caucasus or Iranian DNA in ancient Scandinavian graves. So far, the samples haven't shown that shift. But that assumes the migration was a mass movement of people. The historical model actually proposes something smaller, a ruling elite or a mobile warband that integrated into the existing population rather than replacing it. This begins with a geographical correction. Ptolemy's ancient geography placed the city of Azagarium within European Sarmatia, along the river then known as the Borysthenes. Today, we know that river as the Dnieper. The proposed homeland wasn't in the Caucasus. It was here, in the forest steppe of modern-day Ukraine. This change in location shifts our expectations. Political power is not determined by population percentage. A small, disciplined coalition can transform the military and religious life of a region, even if they remain a numerical minority within the population they rule. This diagram shows how foreign DNA dilutes through intermarriage. When a small elite marries into a larger population, their genetic signature halves each generation. After 15 generations, the contribution from one founder is nearly zero. A descendant might inherit no identifiable DNA at all. While the biology fades, the political identity remains. A royal genealogy can preserve a founder's name for centuries after their specific genetic markers have effectively vanished from the broader population. To test this, we must look for movement along the proposed route. In 2018, researchers analyzed ancient remains from Finland and Russia. They found that Northern Europe was not a sealed environment. Eastern ancestry reached the region in multiple waves over thousands of years, showing that the Northern world was constantly adapting to new arrivals. The ancient demographics were never truly static. The borders were open to the kind of Eastern infiltration that a migrating elite would have required to reach the Scandinavian coast. The 2020 Margarian study confirmed this pattern. It showed that while the underlying Iron Age population of Scandinavia remained largely intact, foreign gene flow steadily entered from the south and east. Gotland emerges as a critical maritime gateway. The island shows high genetic diversity and a clear connection to populations in the eastern Baltic. A 2025 study by Speidel used a method called twig stats to track these movements with higher precision. It identified pulses of Eastern European and Baltic ancestry flowing from what is now Poland and Lithuania directly into the Gotland population. A journey from the Dnieper to Sweden would take years, or even generations. During that time, the group would marry local families and recruit new allies. By the time they reached their destination, their genetic profile would look more like the Baltic corridor than their original homeland. This evidence maps a mobile and shifting route. It describes a traveling coalition that changed as it moved, which is exactly how a small ruling elite integrates into a new territory. Despite these corridors, one piece is missing. Genomic studies haven't identified this ruling lineage in the Mälaren region, the power center of early Swedes. But the historical record suggests a reason. Odin is credited with introducing cremation, the practice of burning the dead with their possessions. High temperatures destroy the organic material that geneticists need to extract DNA. This creates a forensic blind spot. We are effectively looking for the DNA of a ruling class by sampling the unburned graves of the people they governed. However, when the elite were buried intact, the results were different. In the Osaberg ship burial, one of the most prestigious graves in Scandinavia, researchers found a rare genetic signature. The younger woman carried the U7 mitochondrial haplogroup. It is a maternal lineage with deep associations to the Near East and the Black Sea region, and it is nearly absent in most ancient European populations. Her presence shows that a rare Eastern lineage could reach the highest tier of the Scandinavian elite, without leaving a massive footprint on the rest of the population. Ancient DNA provides a map of a mobile Eastern European Baltic world. It shows us the root world that a migrating king would have navigated. When we account for the geography of the Dnieper, the dilution of DNA over generations, and the destruction of evidence through cremation, The genetic data fits the model of an arriving elite. To read the full genetic studies, follow @Wodinsman and visit wodinsman.com via the link in the bio for the official briefing. The complete case will be published on December 1st, 2027, in Christopher T. Knight's book, The Case for the Historical Odin. Follow the evidence.